past fall, I kept feeling inclined to write about this community. Every question along the lines of, what's the greatest risk you ever taken, or what community has shaped you the most, kept leading me to boast about the incredible teachers I've had as mentors, peers who never cease to keep things exciting, discussions in classes which led to a shift in my worldview, or the colorful hallways that have always been such a safe place for me. Describing those elements made for fine college essays, but it didn't actually get at the question. Why has Nueva been such an integral part of who I've become in the past 4 years, and why is it so important to me? Because I sat on the floor of the Student Center in our CSM hallway as teachers opened up about their greatest struggles with identity, and I started to see my educators as humans, and realized that every person has storied past filled with fears and insecurities, decisions and crises, suffering and healing. Because I was deeply encouraged to write and research whatever I was interested in. And so I worked alongside peers who wrote essays about the history of the McNugget or Grateful Dead and the LSD culture in the 60s, peers who built nuclear fission reactors or automatic bearded dragon feeders. Because the rush I felt when I harnessed an idea I wanted to pursue was embraced and channeled. Like the time Connie and I shouted and high-fived with disbelief and thrill when her phone received the text sent from the beginning works of my engineering project. Or the time Connor and I literally jumped of excitement when we created a wholesome hypothesis and experiment design with the hope of making cancer cells more susceptible to chemotherapy. We did fail, but hey, failed science is still good science. Because in 10th grade, I sat in the hallway and had deep philosophical conversations with Olivia, and we questioned the limits of reality, our perceptions, and our place within it. Or Natalie and I sat on green couches and conversed for an hour about existence and the importance of religion. A few weeks ago, on the same couches, Sire and I discussed for 2 hours about physics, the capital T truth, and human consciousness. All 3 of these instances made me appreciate the sheer intellectual vibrancy of this place. We were creating connections across disciplines, making our own belief systems, and becoming active thinkers and questioners of the world we live in. Because if I was having a tough day, I had an array of faculty I connected with, who I trusted deeply, who made me feel cared for, that I could go to talk for support or encouragement. Because I was always thrown in the deep end. For example, I found myself in a conversation with a man in a hospice care center for people with AIDS who had lived on the streets and been stabbed with an HIV-infected heroin needle. Then, I was in New York City and talking to the head of UNAIDS, Eric Sawyer, who told us that in the 80s, him and his boyfriend, who had Kaposi sarcomas, the purple spots which appear on your skin in early stages of AIDS, watched as a waiter came and violently swiped all of their dishes into a garbage bag, claiming they were dirty humans, spit in their faces, and kicked them out of the restaurant. With these nearly indigestible interviews, I was given the drive and the desire to share the stories, take steps towards becoming an activist, and educate those around me in an attempt to facilitate the same impact that the deep end had had on me. Because when I came to Francine with ideas of molecules I wanted to synthesize in biochemistry, she would give me a smirk, hiding the knowledge of whether or not it was going to work, said okay, and set me to discover success or failure on my own. Because here, I was encouraged to admit that I don't know yet. Not simply I don't know. A few weeks ago, I was presenting my project at the Design Engineering Review, and after my presentation, I was asked how I was going to make all the microtechnology work. I responded with something along the lines of, I don't know, I have no idea. After the event, I had 3 community members come tell me that instead of saying I don't know, I had to respond with I don't know yet, implying that I had the ability and the determination to learn, that I may not know now, but I will learn. The encouragement left me on the verge of tears and filled with inspiration and empowerment that I had never felt before. This compilation of becauses is only a glimpse into my moments at Nueva, which have shaped my identity, my thinking, and my experience. They were moments of crucial change for me, moments of discovery or learning that influenced the thinker I am today, moments of appreciation for this irreplaceable community. They are why I came here, stayed here, and loved it here. So I recommend all of you to continue to follow the Nueva way. Continue asking and finding the answers to your why questions. Let yourself uncover the utterly captivating and engrossing truth of each problem, each layer, opinion and each action you will encounter. With that said, let me close with some remarks. Class of 2017, we did it. We created a school. It has been a pleasure and an absolute honor to have worked hard by your side, from portfolio defenses to Shakespeare adaptations, and to have challenged my opinions, values, and perspectives based off of discussions in classes from ISOS to modern physics, or even just at the lunch table. To have laughed through all of the Putnam County Spelling Bee musical, danced our hearts out on our boat at last year's prom, and cried all together when the results of the election were not what was expected. Thank you for the lessons and the knowledge you have taught me. Thank you for igniting a drive within me that I didn't even know existed. Thank you for creating a community in which I have felt so accepted and appreciated. So after we take this dinner time to reflect on our precious time here, I encourage you to all go forth and live your next adventure, filled with confidence, pride, passion, and humility. But question everything along the way. Thank you.